Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. We've arrived at Wednesday. We've arrived at Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. And I think we have, I think we have like 59 days until winter officially starts. Let me see here. I think I saw that earlier today. Did I say 60 yesterday? Yeah, 59 days today. So we are cruising towards winter. It doesn't feel like winter today, but it does feel like we're well into fall. I think it's 49 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment, which is 9 degrees Celsius. Looking for a high of 60 degrees today, 9 degrees Celsius in the New York City area. Partly cloudy and which also means partly sunny, so we should be a little optimistic. I've got beeping going on in the streets outside of me. I guess there's just constant construction. I mean, we get like a break for a while, and then some new project starts nearby, and it's all havoc. But you know, I don't know. At least they're not tearing down the building I'm in like they are the White House. So if you can't cry, at least you can laugh. All right. Well, let's see. We've covered it's fall, 59 more days. This day in history, I looked at something interesting here. This day in, 1915 was a massive rally for women's suffrage, or the right for women to vote, and it just hit me how it really hasn't even been that long in the grand scheme of things that women had, across the United States, had the ability to vote. The 19th Amendment was passed, I believe, in August of 1920, right as the Roaring Twenties were kicking off, and that created universal suffrage. But I went back and just looked at it really quickly, and I don't know, it's been a while since I've studied this part of our history. The 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. And, but interestingly, and this is according to the Brennan Center, and it's just been a while since I've studied this aspect of American history, so I get rusty on certain details. I did not remember until I reread it that long before its ratification in 1920, the 19th Amendment, that is, unmarried women who owned property in New Jersey could and did cast ballots between 1776 and 1807. Beginning in 1869, women in Western territories won the right to vote, and in the decade leading up to the 19th Amendment's passage, 23 states granted women full or partial voting rights through a series of successful campaigns. And so what I'm taking away from this is a reminder of a great lesson that, and it isn't that, it wasn't that great. There were these states that got it right early. I mean, that's 23 states. I'm very glad the 19th Amendment passed. It's that things take a long time. I mean, the struggle took a long time. And so the struggles that we're facing today that just seem insurmountable, I hate to sound cliche, but, it really is the journey, not the destination, that we have to make the cause of our lives about causes that matter. And even if they are not fully realized in our natural lifetime, it's worth the effort. Because we can't guarantee any outcome, and things sometimes take a long, long time to resolve. And by the time those are resolved, there's other issues that need to be resolved. So it's unsatisfying for those of us who grew up with Disney endings, that everybody lives happily ever after and we fix things once and for all. But that is just not the reality of life. And I think the sooner that I accept that, the sooner we accept that and just get to work on the important matters and make that our life destination, then the better. And none of us escape death, and none of us are going to fix all the problems. But if I can make a meaningful difference in a few problems, then I think I'll feel pretty good about my life. So where does that lead me? I spent a considerable amount of time in this Denver retreat I went to with an amazing man. His name is Alfonso James. And at the age of 17, he was convicted in Wisconsin of a murder that he did not commit. And he spent 32 years in Wisconsin State Prison for that murder. I think at the time that he was incarcerated, if I got this correct, and Alfonso, if I get this incorrect, I will correct it. But I believe what he told us was that he had, I think, dropped out at the 3rd grade. I mean, he was functionally illiterate, and he was a teenager. He was a minor when this all happened, and was railroaded basically into prison. 32 years later, he gets out. He's only now being completely and fully legally exonerated, although he's been innocent the whole time. And I believe the exoneration hearing is today, so that's especially on my mind. But 32 years, this is a man who went in, a boy who could barely read, was in solitary for 5 years, couldn't go outside, and yet, after all those years, I mean, it's taken a toll, but I saw the most loving man and the most grateful man that I've ever met. And I think about all the problems that I am facing and feeling, the problems societally, the problems individually, the problems that other people have that I know. And I look to Alfonso and I think to myself, that man endured true hopelessness. And he never lost faith. He almost did. But in the end, he didn't. And there is no end, actually, because it's still a journey. But he survived that period of time and is out making a difference in other people's lives and spreading the message. And I got the benefit of a couple of hugs from this man. And I have to tell you, I don't know about you, but when you hug a person who has soul, who has real deep gratitude, and who's really in touch with their soul and humanity, it's a different kind of hug. And this guy hugs with all of his heart, and you just feel it, how grateful he is to be able to give love and to receive love. And I think to myself about all these business ventures we're all in, and we get so caught up in AI and scaling and making money. And I'm on a mission that we don't forget the importance of humanity and building meaningful relationships in all aspects of our lives, business included, because I think that's really where the meaning is, So this one's for you, Alfonso. Thank you for helping us who have not endured this kind of pain and isolation and torture, frankly, and injustice more than anything, for reminding us what's important. What's really important. And what's important is our ability to be in connection with other people, including ourselves, and not isolated from one another. It's deadly. So I'm just so inspired by Alfonso, and it makes me want to double my efforts to do the right thing and do work that's meaningful. And that's what I'm going to work on today. So what is meaningful work for you? What touches your heart and not only your bank account? Where do you fuse those two in a meaningful way? And I'm not talking about following your passion and that kind of trite stuff. I'm talking about deep meaning. Have a reflection on that on this Thursday as we cruise toward the weekend. And with that, I'll just say goodbye for now. Thank you, as always, for listening. Be good to yourself and others, and we will check back with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.